The topic of this video is going to be solving equations. An equation might be something that looks like this. X plus 5 equals 7. Okay, so this is a very simple equation. An equation has an equal sign, or that's where the name equation comes from. All right, and what you want to do pretty much every time you see an equation is you want to try to solve the equation for the missing letter or variable. Okay, so usually you're going to see the letter X. That's called a variable. Okay, and you want to figure out what number goes in the place of X. So what would that number have to be to make this equation true? All right, so you could look at this and you could ask yourself, what number plus 5 is equal to 7? And you could just kind of guess and check and test out numbers. You might plug them in and say, is it 1? Well, 1 plus 5, does 1 plus 5 equal 7? No, 1 plus 5 is actually equal to 6, so it's not 1. And if you think about it, you might guess 2. All right, so if X is equal to 2, then 2 plus 5 does equal 7. So that means that X has to be equal to 2, and that would have to be the answer. Okay? But you probably don't want to be guessing and checking, especially as this gets a little bit more complicated. It kind of works with easy ones like this that are more simple, but you definitely don't want to be doing this method when it becomes a little trickier. So what I would do is a different way of solving it. So we'll just rewrite it over here. We'll say X plus 5 equals 7, and we'll try again. Now, remember, the goal is always to get that X all by itself. Okay, if you look at it here, it's not by itself yet, because the problem is there's still this plus 5 on the left side of the equation with the X. All right, so we currently have the X with the plus 5, and we want to get rid of the plus 5, which will get the X to be all by itself. Does that make sense? So we want to get rid of this 5, because that's keeping the X right now from being all by itself, which is what we're trying to do. So we're going to go like this. The 5 is being added. So in order to cancel out the plus 5, we're going to do the opposite of plus 5, which is just minus 5. Okay, so under the plus 5, we're going to write minus 5, because a positive 5 and a negative 5, or a minus 5, will cancel each other out, won't they? 5 minus 5 makes 0, which will just kind of disappear in this equation now, and that's what we want. But if we do something on the left side of the equation, we also have to remember to do it on the right side. Okay, that's called balancing the equation. You might have heard that term before. So if we minus 5 from the left side over here, we also have to remember to minus 5 on the right side to balance it out. So what that means is we're going to cancel out the 5s like we already did. Plus 5 and negative 5 will cancel out. And then we do this part here. And we have to do a little easy math. What's 7 minus 5? Well, 7 minus 5 is 2. So we're going to bring down the answer, which would be 2. We're going to bring down the equal sign as well. These 5s already canceled, so we don't care about them. And we're just going to bring down our X. And look at that. X is equal to 2, which is exactly what we got the other method that we did earlier. Okay, so you could choose either way. X is equal to 2, and we're all done.